Hello everybody and welcome to my first video on YouTube. My name is Lost in Craft and you will be joining me on my first playthrough of StoneBlock. This is an old Minecraft mod pack that I got interested in a while back, and I would like to share my playthrough with all of you. Now, I have played a little bit before this just to get a good walkthrough. I've only done about maybe the first 3 quests, and you will join me on this adventure. Now, currently, I do not have a skin implemented that is already finished. Sorry, the skin is finished. I am just waiting for a friend to help me input it into Minecraft. And thank you for joining me on my adventure. Now, survival, we're going to call this first playthrough. And if you do subscribe to my channel, you are going to be an OG of OGs. Probably not going to do that. Let's get started, friends. Welcome to StoneBlock. Welcome, friends, to StoneBlock. This is an area we'll start in, and there is no light. You are surrounded by stone. Implied name, StoneBlock. Now, this is your better questing item. Go in here. This is the title screen that you see at the beginning. I can change this thing, which I have done before, so I'm going to have it as this. These are examples you will have. We're going to do the standard nether one, because I feel like that's going to be better. Go to the quest we go. Quest lines and StoneBlock startup. Now, I am playing full screen, so this is why all this is so big. And our first task is to get our stone pebbles. Pebbles are changed by breaking stone with an empty hand, folks. Now, the best way I figured out how to do this, get the most space, is break the base ones right here. Oops. Now, if you ever want to try this mod pack for yourself, I will tell you that is on Cursed Forge. Now, it has not been updated for a while. Wait, there it is. Quest complete. Now back to where I was at. StoneBlock has not been updated for a while, and if you are going to play it, beware you're going to play on an old version of Minecraft. Some features of the newer ones are not going to be in there. So yeah, just letting you know. And if you want to play this for yourself, please let me know so we can share our experience together. Now, next quest in our best questing tool is going to be crafting table, the stone crafting table. Now, the way you make stone here, cobblestone, is by doing this. Now, we got lucky, we're able to get 8 cobblestone, which now gives us our stone crafting table. Now, preferably you can put this anywhere. I prefer putting it here, as it saves so much more space, and we can fill out all these holes. Now, if you have noticed, we do in these quests get loot boxes. So let me just quickly claim all my loot boxes. Now, these can vary from a wide variety of items. I've got a diamond furnace, lucky blocks, which are known as chance cubes in this, and many other items like epic bacon, cosmetics, which I would say is a very unlucky draw because space is precious. Now, our first loot chest will give us Invar Hammer. The Invar Hammer is a real good tool to start off as, or to get, just because instead of mining with your fist getting 1 block, these will mine in a 3x1 3x3x1 pattern, which really expands your room early on. Now, I'm just going to quickly remove all of this just to give some more room, and I'll be quickly mining these. Now, before we open our next one, I would say Invar Hammer is a pretty decent drop. It's common, not that common, but it's a very useful drop beginning game. Probably not good for later game. Now, I will not touch the top parts because it's going to be too annoying. And our next loot chest will be, ooh, these are good for later game. Now, in the beginning, you're not going to have any storage at all. So, it's precious to keep them inside your inventory at all times until you're able to get chests, which is very soon. So now, if we go to our next quest, we will see that our next task is to get dirt. Now, you may be wondering, where am I going to get dirt? The place we're going to get dirt is actually from a mod in here that implements hammers. Whoops. Sorry, that took a pause. But these hammers are part of Ex Neo Credo, which, when breaking cobblestone, which I would say a good setup at the beginning is to get about 8 cobblestone, no, sorry, 9 cobblestone, because you're going to need it for a later quest, and also very useful for growing trees, which we'll get soon. Now, as you see in my inventory, I am getting gravel from the cobblestone, and I showed you the questing tab for a quick sec, so I'll read that to you now. Dirt can be obtained by breaking blocks with a hammer, which is the hammer we have. So craft some stone hammers and start smashing. The progression goes from stone to cobblestone to gravel to dirt to sand to dust. Sand and dust are going to be important later on. Now, stone hammers are pretty easy to craft, as you saw. However, hammers like the Invar Hammer aren't going to do anything to this mod, because you need the hammers to specifically buy this mod pack. No, sorry, not mod pack, mod creator. So, by using this, you are having to hold another item in your inventory. Not bad, but still, later on, it's going to be a little crucial to keep space. Now, as you're crushing this down, you are going to realize we're going to need 10 dirt, which I will simply be taking the cobblestone from there. I know it has an inventory, but if you don't get the Invar Hammer on first shot and mine these out, I would say just mine one of these out. Here we go. Our next quest. What will be our next loot box, folks? The Skullfire Sword. Now, this is an amazing drop when you get it, because when you read the enchantments on this, you get Looting 25, which is an unbreakable Ivorita sword, which is actually, if I search that up, here it is. Now, if you are familiar with seeing this screen when you ever search this up, this mod, sorry, I'm just a little bit, is from Ivorita mod. Avtaria. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. I'm a bad YouTuber. But you see all these. It may look small, but the diamond lactate, all these are easy. But when you get to the simple crystal matrix, you already need nether stars to make 1 ingot. Then piles of neutrons, you need a neutron nugget, which then you need the neutron ingot. Now the only way I've figured out how to get the neutron ingot is from these, which you can actually get neutron essence for, which will be later. But then the single infinity catalyst, which you can see is already billions of BMC, is every single item. Block of Enderium, Steel, and Dark Steel. Now you will notice these 3 blocks are from different mods. And you can already see there's lead, tin, copper, and more singularities. What what's that? I'm so sorry. Arita mod does is that every mineral in the game will add. So if the mod doesn't have any versions of singularity, if you do this correctly and mess with this recipe and stuff, you will add lead, silver, nickel, flux, tin, and this is now all we need to make one infinity catalyst. Now, as people, if you've ever seen this mod, you know all this armor and stuff, and you know the pain of making a single singularity. Now, we need 12.2 thousand blocks of iron just to make one. And that's a single infinity catalyst. If I go to blocks of infinity, go to extreme crafting, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these, which is already millions. Well, sorry, not millions, hundreds of thousands of blocks and millions of iron cooked. Now, probably the only way you're going to get that is from iron farms, which we will possibly work for this. But Soulfire Sword is definitely a good sword to get during the beginning. Now, our next quest shall be Stone Crook. Now, you are going to, if I search up, hold up, Stone, whoops, Crook. You are going to see there are two hooks here, crooks. One from StoneBlock Utilities and one from X-Neos. Now, it's important that you pay attention to this because you're going to waste resources. You want to click this and you'll realize we're going to use the one for X-Neo. I messed up myself on this, which cost me a lot more than I should have. Because if we look at the recipe for this, well, not much actually, it's just a pebble from X-Neos. But it's still a little bit of something. Whoops, sorry, that was my butt. Our next is Loot Crate. Which will be, folks, Blues Not Cosmetics. Ooh, speed upgrades. These are good for later on too. Now, our next quest is trees. We have to actually get a lot of materials for this quest. So, with my Invar Hammer, I'm quickly gonna just mine all of these materials out. Now, if you want to be nitpicky and like make this into an entire block, I won't blame you. It can get a little weird looking in here depending on how you want to set everything up. But right now, you are definitely going to need a lot of stone for this. Because I've done this quest before and it takes a lot to get these materials. And no joke, I've almost used entire stacks of stone to dirt just to get a little progress done. Because it does vary on when you do this. Now you will use your crook to use this. So if you look here, vanilla saplings are changed by breaking dirt with a crook. So I'm going to quickly clear my inventory, which I thought was the best way to keep track. And now you see we're already getting all the types of saplings. And some saplings will appear more than others, which I find a little annoying. But I can't change it. Now, I would say if you have enough stone, do something like this. I wouldn't convert all of it. I would say convert most of your stone into dirt or whatever your resource you're doing. Because in this mod pack, you are going to need a lot of resources. Especially during early game when you haven't automated everything. because everything has a chance to spawn. Nothing is 100%, except some things on later versions and of whatever you're using. So, for example, X scenarios adds sieves. So some items you get from sieves are going to be more percentage than others. I'll just say, like, for some random something, iron. Whoops. And you would get a certain amount of chances to get that item. Now, if you notice, I did place about 34, 35 stone. You won't get every ounce of material you'll get. I've had that happen before, and I've had run tests on this. Even breaking these blocks is a chance, especially for gravel. Whoops. Especially for gravel, because you can break it and it could turn to flint. But since you're breaking with a hammer and nothing else, it will just disappear. As it would normally drop into flint, by mining with a hammer, it will disappear. So as you see, yep, look, 25. I got less than I mined. So just be wary of this, and if you see your blocks disappear when doing this, that's what's happening. Especially for gravel. Gravel's the main reason why. You see, we're orging more saplings than birch and acacia. And sometimes you get masses of other saplings without getting the others. As we need 4 of every type of sapling. Now see, we're lacking behind on acacia saplings. See, we only got 2 out of the entire thing. I will just be mining this up. Whoops. We'll be mining all these up again. Please also let me know as feedback if you want me to have any way of talking to my audience. Because I understand I am talking a lot in this video, and I have noticed other YouTubers talk, well, less, more, depending on their audience. So please let me know how you'd like me to talk to you guys, and if you want me to also do any future streams maybe. Because I really want to support my audience and have the most entertainment I can give to you. So you guys are pleased with my videos, and that I'm doing this for people that like my stuff. Okay. Our next loot box, folks, what will be Blacker Lotus. I haven't found a use for Blacker Lotus yet because it's from the Botania mod and I don't have the book and I haven't reached that stage yet. So we'll discover that together, friends. Our next task is wood. Now, what I was saying earlier about using getting 9, that's about this part. Because I usually get 9 pieces of dirt so I can make a nice little area to plant trees in the dead center. If you want to be nitpicky, the dead center would be right about here. It's also good that I got my Invar Hammer. Now, I have gotten lucky on this before and gotten all 9, which seems that I have. But it's a very rare chance to lose your stuff. Now, if you notice, actually, where did they go? Hold up. Oh, there they are. I'm sorry, I'm blind. Now, you also may be wondering in this video that how am I going to grow this tree? I'm probably going to have to wait for a while because there's no light. However, with the next scenario mod, you can twerk. You can twerk and the tree will grow. Now, this space is actually a very good size for your tree because if you do this right, you can get the maximum amount of wood you can. Now, I would say it's necessarily hard, but I would say maybe a better way than farming by hand is possibly botanies. No, sorry, they're not botanies. Hold up. Here they are. Bonsais, which is later. But bonsais, I would say, is a pretty good way to harvest your trees for later on progress. Now, my goal, at least for us, is to get a nice base setup for this episode. And you will get some apples from these trees. You can also get peaches and other fruits. And sometimes you need to shift a lot for these trees. Now, if you have any questions in the comments, please let me know. And also any further suggestions for my YouTube channel, as I am just starting out. And hopefully, you'll enjoy my content too. There we go. Okay, there we go. There's our achievement. Also, I would just be setting up a crude base. I would love to hear designs that you come up with within your own StoneBlock worlds to make. Like your own little hub, which is what I usually use this as, like a little hub area. So please let me know if there's any particular designs you want me to use, either be wood, stone, coal, or any blocks anywhere. Just let me know, and I'll try and see what I can make. Also, I will be doing small building projects off camera. Like, to give an example, when I post this video, or like any video I make, I will be making a little bit of offline progress, like building like areas for the episode, and also like designing the room with like wood and other building materials. And maybe if it's a big project I need to make for the next episode, I will be doing more offline progress. So hopefully we won't have big projects like that. Now for our wood achievement. Now, the easiest next achievement would be storage, which I will be doing. Now just letting you know, there are no barrels in this version, so yes, you will be forced to use chest. And this is when you start getting real organized with everything, and it's much easier. Now, for the next quest, you are going to need a crook, which is the string. Which strings, if you read, is done by silkworms, which you can see silkworms from. Whoops, I have wrong sapling. Now, early on, I'm not really that organized, but later on, yes, I do get more organized manually. I haven't gone to any automated organization yet. Oh, and there we go. We already got our first silkworm. Now, I will be still harvesting the entire tree out. Also, a little feature of StoneBlock. Let's go right up to this tree. If I do stuff like this, you notice that leaves are disappearing faster. That's because they're not connected to wood. So in this mod pack, if any leaves aren't connected to wood, all the adjacent ones that were connected to it will be dropped. And bait miner is also not a part of this mod pack. So you will be having to manually mine everything until you get things automated. There we go. Now, one achievement I will quickly do before anything else, so let me grab this, is the Tinkers, which is very easy. I'll just go into here with AoE and stuff, go over here. You could do different ways, but I would just grab this and follow all the recipes, because there are a lot of stencil tables built with different wood types. You see jungle, and you can already see there is a bunch of modded versions. Just stencils, then you got part builders, got part things. So let me just set all that up real quick. Whoops. Now, during the beginning of Tinkers, you will not have access to everything, like all the patterns you can make. You will need more advanced tables for that. As if we go down here, I need to find it. There are supposedly iron stencil tables, or part builders. Here they are, tool forges and stuff, where you can get patterns from. Now, Tinkers is a real fun mod pack if you like creating your own custom tools. So if you want to use it, be my guest. Also, a little fun feature one of the mods puts in is that when you normally make sticks like this, you'll get the 4. But if I do this, it'll give you the 16. It gives you the equivalent. Now, we already have our pattern chest. I did not craft anything else. And then we'll get stencil table, our part builder. I need more wood. Our tool station. Where is it? Part chest. Now, part chest is a little more expensive than the other ones, but nothing really to worry about. I'm sorry if I keep on doing that. There we go. We get our Tinkers. And you see we do get the Tinkers book, which is all this. So if you do decide to play this and you get to this step for this book, as you just noticed, everything lands on the floor. But if you ever get to this part, I would suggest reading this book if you never came into contact to the Tinkers mod, because it is very helpful with the later projects of Tinkers. Now, as I've been saving these, we have gotten fluid displays. Now, fluid displays aren't very useful because they just show the liquid. So if I put lava, it's just going to show an image of lava. Epic bacon, this is what I'm talking about. You get these nice foods, and if you look in my hunger bar, when I hold this said epic bacon, you see my saturation will be completely full once I eat it. But since I am not hungry, I cannot get the saturation. Now, the loot box, the final loot box, speed upgrades, and they're magical apparently. Now, during the beginning, I do usually separate all my modded stuffs down here from my non-modded, so that is more organized and I can access them better. I will be keeping this epic bacon on me though. Now, with this setup I have here, I make a lot of room for me. And normally I don't do this, but I'm normally keep it over here, which I'm still gonna do. Now, I would keep the part chest and see if you put the part builder here, I would say if you're ever making this mod, you want to have a nice setup, because for this mod, you're not able to access the other ones on the side here. So I could go here and I won't be able to access any of the other stations. So I would say this is a nice setup, because part chests do connect to each other, and as you can see, displays. So I can get all this and stuff, but I won't be doing that till later. So our next station will be up is the string, which is just simple silkworms. Tell me if you hear my keyboard, because I'll have to work out on my recording software then. Now we'll just have to wait for all these to spread. So when one completes, which is probably going to be a better example over here. Well, it's not complete, but once it completes, oh, as you can see here, all these leaves are soon going to be infected and, well, infested with the silkworm. And then when they're infected with said silkworm, they will become old people. It's going to become an old tree, folks. Very old tree. And while we wait for that, we'll look at the next part, which is sieving. Now, if I go to sieves, there is a bunch. Heavies, now let me type back. Heavy, auto sieves, heavy audio, and mana sieves. I haven't gotten to mana sieves yet, and I haven't figured out a way to craft them. Because if I click auto sieve, you can see I get this nice recipe for it. But when I do it for this, you see, as you can hear, I'm going to bring my mouse to my mic. I am not getting the recipe. But if I go for a normal sieve right here, that is the sieve we'll be making. And you don't need a bunch of sieves, but it can be very useful if you have more. But since we're starting out, we won't need that many. Oops. Now, I would recommend at least getting 2, because you will need to farm a lot in this. So I'll just put your seeds right here for further notice. And there we go. We got an old lady tree. No offense to any females in the audience. Now, crooks are the best way to get the leaves. No, sorry. You'll get the most string out of your beverage. Well, of your tree. So once we hit 32 string, this will be complete. There we go. Here we get our loot box. I have not gone to this yet. So we'll take a look at that together. Now let me just finish this up, folks. And then we'll move on to our next quest. Which I will tell you, folks, is easier to finish all the quests first. Well, basic quests you can do without setting up any machine. Because you'll be able to get a lot done then, and you'll be way more organized in the beginning. Now, if anyone asks why I'm not making a hatchet from Tinkers, it's because I think it's a little too many resources right now instead of making a simple one. But I still won't make one yet, as we need to pick up our sieves. Now, I'll go right here. If you see silk mesh right here, which I'm pointing on, you need to complete both quests right here to get it. I haven't seen any other quests with this yet, but yes, this can happen if you need both quests to do this. So if you did the Silk Mesh quest and without completing like Sieve, you won't get your reward or any of these rewards. Now to make a Silk Mesh, you take your string and turn it into a 9x9 square. And you would then put them in your sieves. This is the best way to do it. Well, the only way to do it. But this is a basic setup you would have for your sieves, unless you want to make it bigger. Now, let's claim our loot box. Ooh, more epic bacon. Whoops. Our final loot box, solars. Now, there is a section for solars. Let me just find it real quick. Power generation. Now, this will be the solar panel line that we could do. However, we need lava generation, which we might go over today. Might. As you can see, there is a bunch of categories here. Draconic Evolution, Power Generation, Mystical Agriculture, which is something I'll definitely focus in, because Mystical Agriculture, sorry I said that wrong, would definitely help out. So, as you see, all these enter the same point. However, if you look at this is the point where you see that thing happening I was talking about earlier. How if you don't have phosphorus, which is this, you need iron mesh. But if I head to this thing, this is basically normal. But if I head up to this, I would need inferium essence and base essence ingot. So you get that phenomenon, well not phenomenon, design where you need to have 2 quests completed before you get this. Which is normally how it goes. So you go like, you would first get your basic seeds, you then probably get your essence, and then you'll probably get your base, well, ingot. You can also make furnaces with this mystical agriculture stuff. So you can get Imperium, Prudium, Interium, Superium, then Supremium, then the ultimate furnace, which I have not delved into yet. Now with that done, we will head back to our power, which we will now be heading to Crucible, which will be our final quest of the day. It's pretty simple. There you go, your Oak Crucible. Now, if you are going to automate the Oak Crucible, I would say you're going to need more, but just for the standard beginning, you're just going to need 1. Because you don't use this until a later game. For resources, you're going to need by mixing ingredients into this. Now, our loot chest of the night, as you can see at the top left of my screen, it does say nighttime of day 1. This is the one I was trying to be avoiding. You know what? Yeah. Engineer's goggles, boys. Now, I have put on the red ribbon before and the black bow tie. I'm going to put on the bow tie. I'm not going to put on the red ribbon, folks. I'm not putting on a red ribbon. So between bow tie or engineer's goggles. As you can see, there's the bow tie. I will not be using it. So, only peek. What? I'm going to put this next episode. So, your pick, engineer's goggles or bow tie. I'm going to have engineer's goggles on for now. If you do agree with engineer's goggles, comment below. Now, that is our final quest. Now, our next day, we will not be going into lava generation yet. We are going to try and acquire our flint mesh and maybe iron mesh. And we'll go into our water and clay. So, that is our plan for next episode, folks. Hope you enjoyed.